Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining us. I'm really excited to welcome you all because this Power Up session is a really special one. This is our 1 year anniversary. We have been doing Power Up sessions, our monthly training sessions, for a year now. We had hundreds of registrations. Many of our customers and many people who are just interested in digital credentials have joined us so far. So this session is quite special. And welcome once again. Without further ado, I would like to get started by talking about what we will be covering today. So first, we will be talking about how to set up your organization profile. This is perfect for you if you have just started working on your digital credentials so that you can learn how to get your account ready to get started on sending digital credentials, certificates, and badges. Then we will take a look at the whole certificate badge creation process and issue process. We will go over everything step by step. Then we will be also taking a brief look into our analytics features so that you can also track all of the credential campaigns that you issue after issuing them and get insights on how well they are performing. And at the end, at the last 15 minutes, we will be having a live dedicated Q&A session where you can let us know all of your questions, and I will be able to answer them all live and give you demonstrations if needed. So our goal today is that at the end of the session, you will be able to navigate Sertifier with ease. You will be able to create and issue digital credentials from scratch. You will be able to analyze your metrics, and overall, you will have a complete understanding of all of our features as you go through your experience of Sertifier and digital credentials. So let's go ahead and switch to our app so that we can get started on how to set up our accounts. So the first thing that you will be doing whenever you have your account is first navigating to the organization settings, where you can do so by clicking on the organization name on the top right corner and click on the organization settings. And the first page that will be opening up is the organization tab, where all of the, not all of the, but most of the steps necessary to prepare your account are placed. The first section is the issue profile settings, where you will be uploading your organization logo, editing the organization name, providing the website of your organization, and also a contact email that can be utilized by your recipients. So whenever they have a question about their credentials, through this email, which will be visible on their credential pages, they will be able to directly reach out to you and ask their questions. And after uploading the logo, giving out the website, and also a contact email for the recipients, you can also customize your issuer profile as well. And what issuer profile is it basically acts as a display for all of the credential campaigns that you have and also the collections and the recipients that you want to highlight. You can fully customize this page. You can also select which credential campaigns to display or not through the directory sections on the left menu. The same goes for the collection directory and also the recipient directory as well. So you can share this page through your accounts. You can share this page with your recipients, and they will also be able to navigate to this page directly from their credential pages. So if they want to learn more about all of the courses and all of the trainings that you have to offer, they can do so by visiting this page. And after customizing our issuer profiles, let's talk about the general settings located on the right hand of the screen. One of the most important parts, one of the most important settings placed under the general settings is the LinkedIn organization number. So this number, when placed, will ensure that all of the credentials when shared on LinkedIn will also directly link back to your LinkedIn organization profile. That the LinkedIn organization profile you have will display correctly in relation with the credential. And if you do not know how to locate this number through your organization profile, we also have a hyperlink here that you can check out and learn how to locate this number step by step. So this is one of the more important parts under the general settings. Then we have the social media accounts, where you can place URLs of the social media accounts that you are currently using. You will be able to include these in the email templates that you will be sending out to recipients. And you can also include these in all of your Sertifier hosted pages as well. So it's also a great way to drive even more traffic to the social media accounts that you have. The next, when you scroll down in the organization settings, you will see the issue verification process, which is an initiative that we have with the Velocity Network Foundation that allows issuers you to be registered in a blockchain security system so that all of the credentials that you are issuing are blockchain secured and also globally recognized. And it also adds a step of trust between you and the recipients that you have. So we have some of the key information placed right on the organization settings. You can also directly start your verification process by clicking the Confirm and Start Verification button on the same page. After that, lastly, on the organization settings page, we have the account preferences, where you can adjust the date format according to the date format that you would like to use all across your account. And also you can decide to turn on or off the update notification emails. These emails are emails that are being sent out to your recipients whenever there is a change within the credential information, within the credential design, or recipient information. However, if you do not want those emails to go out to your recipients, you can also keep this off. After going through the organization settings, your account is pretty much ready to go and start issuing credentials. However, I would like to give information on a few other tabs as well. One of the important ones is the second tab, which is users. And this tab right here allows you to add more people to the same account so that they can log in using their own separate login information with their own personal work emails. And you can also adjust their permissions. To add a new admin, you simply click on the Add New User button, enter their email address, and you can then adjust permissions and decide on which pages that you want them to be able to have access to. So, for example, if you do not want an admin to be able to display the account and billing section, you can adjust their permissions accordingly. Another part of the organization settings that I would like to talk about is the email domain, which is right now being included under the branding add-on. So if you have the branding add-on, you will also be able to customize the email addresses that are being used to send out all of your credentials, and also the update or expiry emails as well. So if you have the branding settings turned on in your account, you can simply follow the process located under the email domain and set up the correct DNS records so that you can start utilizing your own custom email domain whenever you are sending emails through Sertifier. So this is one of the cooler features that we have. Let's go back to the dashboard and we will start to talk about how to send and how to issue digital credentials. To do that, the easiest way is to utilize the Send Certificate buttons on the left menu. But first, let's talk about what elements are included in a credential campaign. We have the design of the credential, either it's a certificate design badge or optionally both. We also have the details, an email template that will be used to notify your recipients that they have received a new credential. And lastly, we have the recipients so that we can send out the credentials. And all of these elements have their own separate pages located on the left menu, so you can work on each of them separately as well. So let's go ahead and start creating our campaign. And whenever you start creating your campaign, and possibly in your dashboards as well, will be our new feature, newly introduced feature, our AI native credential creation. So this allows you to enter a simple prompt, including some key information regarding the details of the credential that you are issuing, who it is intended for, what are the skills that are being recognized, and we will generate the credential design for you. We will generate the details. We will generate an email template that you can directly use, and we will also pre-fill the campaign options. So it just takes seconds, which is really groundbreaking. You can also try some of the example prompts that we have right here, so you can see the whole process in action, or you can just enter your own prompt and create all of the elements that you need in seconds, and you can also edit them if necessary. But for the sake of this training, I will skip this so that I can show you the total issuing process from start to end. So let's go ahead and start with the credential designs. The credential designs will include a certificate design, a badge design, or you can also include both of them in the same campaign too, so that the recipients will be able to switch between them and choose if they want to utilize the certificate or the badge. And to create a new credential design, you can simply click this button or just select from the designs that you have already created. But let me also show you how the designer works as well. So we will be starting with the certificate designer, which whenever you are getting started with a design, you have two options. You can either upload your own design that you have prepared in any other third-party designer app, or you can also utilize one of the templates, one of the templates that we provide in our library. So we have over 100 of templates available and ready to go. You can also customize these according to your needs. And let's go ahead and select one and start working on the certificate. Whenever you have selected a design from our library, or if you have uploaded your own design, you can adjust all of the text. You can make sure that the design itself aligns with your branding. And after doing that, the next step is to make sure you have the attributes that you want to include in the certificate design. So what are attributes? Attributes are information that is being automatically filled by our system. For example, the recipient name right here, as you can see, is one of the attributes that are automatically included in this template that I have chosen. And the attributes, in terms of the attributes, we have the default attributes, which varies from recipient to credential, and lastly, issuer attributes that you can simply add to the design that you have by clicking on them. You can customize how these attributes look too. Or optionally, you can also create your own attributes so that you will be able to provide even more information and introduce even more automation to the process. So let's go ahead and create a new attribute. For example, if we have an exam score that we want it to be visible in the certificate design, I can create an attribute for that, and I can select the attribute type accordingly. In the case of a score, this will be a number attribute. And once I add it to my account, I will be able to access it indefinitely. It will be saved in my account so that I can utilize it in the design, in the details, or the email templates. And once you select the custom attribute that you have created, it will be automatically added to the design itself. Right after that, we have the images, where you can upload your logos. If there are any signatures that you want to include in your certificate or badge designs, you can also upload those images right there too. And all of these will be saved so that they are easy to access. For example, let's go ahead and add our logo. After the images tab, we have the layers tab, which is quite useful because when you have so many layers going on in one certificate, it can be a little bit harder to manage them. And this layer section resolves that, resolves that problem. You can easily duplicate elements. You can easily delete layers. You can bring them forward or send them backwards. Lastly, in the certificate designer, we have the QR code, which is a dynamic QR code, but which when scanned will direct the scanner to the respective credential pages. So for example, let's say the recipient shared their certificate design in one of their social media, or just forwarded the certificate to a recruiter, let's say. So they can just scan this code and get all of the information on the training or the course that the recipient has received. And you can also customize this QR code too. You can change its color to make sure that it aligns with your branding. And you will see that we have a contrast scale right here so that you know when the QR code is customized, it's good to go. After that, we also have the preview screen, which comes in handy when you are done with the design, you want to save it, but let's take a look how it looks once the attributes are filled in. Right here, I can place test attribute values for all of the attributes that are present in the certificate design so that I can get to see how it will be looking once it's generated. So quite useful feature. After that, we also have the batch designer, which is essentially the same designer as the certificate designer. Just one small difference in how the templates are handled. We have the bases, ribbons, and also the icon options separately so that you can construct your own batch, or you can, just like the certificate designer, you can import your own design either as an image file or an SVG file. So let's go ahead and select one of the credential designs that we have created earlier and start talking about the details. The details are information about the credential campaign that will be visible on the credential page along with the credential design. And when it comes to the credential details, we have three mandatory fields that you have to fill out. First one being the credential title, the second one is the description, and the third one is selecting which skills are related to that credential. Let's go ahead and start working on the title. And then we have our description where I can also include any images, any links, and also I can utilize any attributes, any system or custom attributes as well. Lastly, I will be searching for any related skills. This will be a digital marketing credential, so I'm just searching for the keyword digital marketing. And the system will come up with a lot of options that I can choose from. And once I have chosen one of the skills that appeared, it will be added. And I will also get to see some related skills suggested to me as well. So for example, let's go ahead and add personalized marketing too. If there's a skill that you want to add in the design, in the detail part of your credential, but for a small chance, we don't have it available in our library, you can also add them as custom skills. So this button right here will allow you to include any skills, any custom skills, and add them directly to the campaign that you have. After filling out the essential parts, the title, the description, the skills, then we have the optional fields. So I want to talk about all of these shortly as well, starting with the credential type. So the credential type will be depending on the type of the training or the course that took place. We have a variety of options to choose from course completion to diplomas to micro credentials to skill mastery. So you can choose which one is the one that applies best to the credential. Then you can also state the duration of the training that took place. You can state if this was a free event or a paid event. You can also select the level starting from beginner going up to professional. You can list the earning criteria, which is the steps that your recipients needed to take to be able to be eligible for this credential. So this is another field that you can utilize attributes on. And then we have the expire date, which allows you to set an expire date or set a validity period for the credentials. The credentials won't be deleted after they are expired. The credential page will still be available. However, it will state that this credential is no longer valid, so that when it is visited, it will give that information out. You can either set an expire date or set a validity period. For example, if I set a validity period for 1 year, after that, I will also be able to set expiry reminder emails so that the recipient knows that their credential is about to expire. They will receive an email, and through that email, they can reach out to me, their issuer, to possibly renew their credentials. You can add up to 3 reminders, and you can also customize which days you want those credential expiration reminder emails to be sent out as well. So let's go ahead and customize the reminders. And lastly, after going through all of the other optional fields, we have the supporting documentation that allows you to include any websites, any documents, any slides that you want your recipients to have access to after they have earned their credentials. So you will simply provide the URLs for the documents that you want to add, and all of that will be accessible through the credential pages. After you are done with the details, you can simply delete the fields that you do not want to use. Once you are happy with the detail that you created, you can simply click Save and Continue, and we will be moving on to the campaign options. In the campaign options, first thing that we have is the campaign title. This is only internal so that your recipients won't be able to see it. However, it just makes sure that you can keep the account itself organized. So let's go ahead and name the campaign. Then we have the campaign privacy toggle. If this will come as public in default. However, if you want to set it to private, the credentials will still be searchable, they will still be accessible and verifiable. However, they just won't appear on the recipient profile to any third parties. So other than the recipient, no one else will be able to see the credentials on their profiles. Next, we have the social sharing text, which we have just recently added attribute use to. So you can also create and utilize the already existing attributes from right here so that you can further customize the social sharing text, which will be appearing whenever the credentials are being shared so that your recipients won't have to bother with writing a text from scratch. It just makes the process easier for the recipients that you have, and it really drives the share rates up. So this field is also preferable to customize. The next thing that we have is the email templates that are being used to notify your recipients, the email templates that we have been talking about from the start. So in the account, whenever you are creating a campaign, a default email template will be chosen for you. However, you can also create customized email templates as well. So you can either select from the ones that you have already created, but you can also create a new email template that will allow you to first customize the body. So you will be able to customize the fonts, the sizes, you will be able to add images, links, anything really, and also utilize attributes as well. And after that, you will be also able to add a QR code or a helper text to the same email template. The QR code functions the same as the one in the credential design, so it will direct to the credential pages, to the respective credential pages. And the helper text will be including any needed information for your recipients on how to download their credentials, how to share, how to embed, along with a video tutorial with all of that information. Once you have customized the body of the email, you can then start working on the branding as well if you have the branding add-on in your account. So the branding in terms of the email template will allow you to include the organization logo directly retrieved from the organization settings, or if you are working with projects in multiple, you can also upload new logos for each of them. You can also customize the button text, the button colors, and include any information in the footer, and also include the social links that you have either entered in the organization settings, or you can provide new social links from right here. After you are happy with the email template that you have created, all that you have to do is simply click Save and Continue, and it will be chosen automatically. So here, as you can see, the new email template that I just created is being used in this campaign. After that, we just have to enter the sender name, which is generally used for the organization's name, and then you can utilize the subject to your liking, from a simple congrats message to more information on the credential itself. The next thing and the last step before sending out the credentials is adding recipients. So Sertifier allows you to include and upload recipients to your account in bulk. And I just want to show you how that works. You will be choosing the Upload Recipients button through Add Recipients, and from this page you will be able to add an Excel document or a CSV document containing the recipient information. So I have an example recipient documentation right here, which is the most basic form of documentation that you can use. We have the full names of the recipients, and we also have the email addresses. If you have any other attributes, such as an exam score associated with the recipient, you can simply add a separate column for each of the attributes so that you can also automate that information too. After uploading our document, I will be simply selecting which attributes are in which column. So I have chosen full name for the first one, and I will choose the email for the second one. If you have more than one columns in a document, you will simply repeat this step. The next part is you deciding if there are already existent recipients in this recipient list that I have sent credentials previously, if I want the recipient information to be updated or not. So this really depends on the situation. For the first one, the first option allows you to update all previously issued credentials with the information and also use the information for future ones. So the first option is for information that is consistent through the credentials, through different credentials. The second option allows you to use the information for future credentials, including this one. However, none of the previously updated credentials, previously sent credentials will be affected. So this is for attributes that will be changing from credential to credential, such as the exam score example that we have been using. And the third option just ignores changes altogether, so none of the recipient information will be updated. After uploading the recipients, you can click Save. You will see that the recipients will be added to the campaign. If needed, you can come here to make changes on the name, the expiration, the issue date, or if you have any other attributes, you will be able to edit them if needed right from this page. And you can also always come back to add more recipients to the same campaign. You will simply, once again, come into the recipients tab in the campaign, and you can click the Upload Recipients button to include more recipients in the same campaign. And lastly, we are at the preview and send screen. Right here, you will be able to get a full preview of the credential page. So it will have the recipient information right here. It will have the issuer information along with your website and contact buttons. You will be seeing the credential design, the share options, and also the detail that we have created. So you can get a preview of the credential page as well as the email template itself. So you can also get a preview for the email template and preview for different recipients as well. So for example, if I want to see the email template that will be sent out to Ceyhun, I can switch recipients, and the same goes for the credential page as well, so that I can make sure all of the credential pages and emails look good. After that, one of the things that we recommend is first sending a test credential to yourself or one of your colleagues. For example, I can send a test credential to myself by using my email address, and this credential will be available for 2 weeks. It will be deleted after, and it will have a disclaimer stating that this is not a real credential but a test credential. So this really allows you to take a one last look at all of the elements that you have created, the design, the details, the emails, so you can make sure that everything looks good. After that, all you have to do is either schedule the credential for later by selecting a date or time, or you can simply click the send button and give your confirmation to start sending out the credentials. After the credentials are being issued, you have completed the credential campaign, you will be directed to the campaigns page on the left menu in the send section. So here you will be able to see all of the campaigns that you have created earlier. You can also view the campaign analytics directly from those buttons, and you can always come back to edit the campaign, update the design, update the detail, make any changes or corrections, or just to add more recipients to the same campaign so that you don't have to bother with creating a new one. After that, I also want to talk about, now that we have sent and issued the credentials, now we have to be able to track how the campaign is doing. And this is where the analytics page comes in. In the left menu right here, you will see the analytics page, and we have a few different tabs that you can get reports on different levels, on also different parts of the credentials. So in the first page, you will be able to see a summary. You will be able to see the total deliveries, your delivery, share rates, open rates, everything. And you will also be seeing average rates for organizations that are similar to yours. So for example, if right here in this page, I see that the open rate of my credentials is much lower than the industry average, then I know I have to make changes in the email template to make sure that my open rates go up. And you can also customize this report using the campaign filters or date filters. The second page that I want to talk about before we go into the Q&A section is the second one, which is the credential tabs that will allow you to see a deeper view and get a deeper sense of all the campaigns that you have going on. So for example, these 4 last credentials are the ones that we have just prepared and issued earlier, and you can see that they have been delivered. When one of the recipients open up their emails, I will be able to track this. When they come to visit their credential pages, I will be able to see it. When they're included in their LinkedIn profiles, when they download, when they share on other social media platforms, I will be able to see all of this information in these reports right here. The cool thing about the credentials tab in the analytics page is that you can highly customize these reports. So for example, if I want to see who added their credentials to LinkedIn, I can apply a status filter, and it will give me a full report on all of the credentials added to LinkedIn profiles. And I can also download this Excel file to share with my colleagues or for my personal use. And I can also filter by campaign or filter by date, just like I can do in the summary tab. That is the pages that I want to talk about regarding the analytics. We have 4 more, including one that is recently added, which allows you to enter a prompt. So, for example, if I want to see who is among my recipients are knowledgeable in marketing, I can simply enter the prompt, and the system will be providing me with a list of all the recipients that has that skill in their skill library. We will be holding our 13th Power Up session next month, as we always do. If you hadn't had a chance to join us live, if you have more questions next month, you can also register for the next session. All of our Power Up sessions are on the third Thursday of each month, so you know when they are being held. And thank you all for coming to this month's Power Up session to our 1-year anniversary. Thank you all for your attention and your time. If you have any questions that come up later, you can always reach out to us. You can also schedule a demo with one of our credential specialists so that if you have any questions, we can also answer them in a one-on-one call. All of that, you can also reach out to us via email. Thank you. Thank you, Tülay. Good evening to you too. Thank you all. I don't think we have any questions this session. If you have more later, you know where to find us. And I wish you all a very great rest of your day. See you next month.